So is Star Citizen Live renamed to Star Citizen Live Gamedev at this point? Do we have any normal Star Citizen Lives anymore? This one is Arena Commander 320 with the two guys that debuted the changes to Arena Commander. I forget the long-haired dude's name, but obviously we know Duncan from Twitch chat and stuff. And yeah, let's see. I guess they're just gonna walk us through and literally play the game. I don't know.
Hi, everybody. That's really
God.
close. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Star Citizen Now. Star Citizen Now? Star Citizen Live? I had 4 meetings all back to back right before this, and I'm jumbled. Star Citizen Live Game Dev, Arena Commander.
This is as loud as I can get it.
I'm your host, most times, Jared Huckabee, and joining us for a very special Game Dev, unlike Game Devs we've done before, we are actually at my desk. Yes, this is where the magic happens. These are my monitors. This is my computer. We're sitting at my desk, and I'm joined by some Star Citizen development luminaries.
Why does this desk look like a living room?
Why don't you introduce yourselves? We'll start immediately to my left here. Tell them who you are and what you do.
I am Samuel Boss. I am one of
Sam.
the designers on the ACFT team, where I do lots of design stuff, essentially.
And what does ACFT team stand for?
Oh, the Arena Commander feature team.
Team. You said ACF.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna turn it up for you guys. I could place a filter on this, I think. Gain. And give it like 4 dBs. And let me try over here on audience mix as well. Filter. Gain's already there. All right, let's see how that is for you guys.
T team.
Yeah,
So
I
you
was-
said AC.
Okay,
Arena
all
Commander
right.
feature team.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That's what we should change it to.
ATM machine.
Better for you?
And immediately to his left,
Hi, I'm Duncan Bunting. I am lead gameplay programmer for the Arena Commander feature team.
and today in our Game Dev special, Game Dev SCLs are where we basically take the hour to actually showcase some portion of the developer's work, live and in person. On this week's show, because these two fine gentlemen, well, I mean, Sam and Duncan anyway, who was I insulting there? I don't know. We're going to be playing Arena Commander 320 live as it is on the PTU. So if you want to jump in and just
Ruin our day.
stream snipe the ever-loving heck out of our developers, you can do that by jumping onto the PTU now. At this point, we're going to jump into it. Sam,
Wait,
you're
what?
starting
They're
us
just
off.
gonna
You're in the
play?
hot seat right now. What is our first element of today? What are we doing?
So the
So we're not discussing the future. We're not.
first one we're going to be playing today is going to be Gun Rush, which is the game mode where essentially you are given various guns as you get through it, and the first person to get a kill with each of the weapons wins the round, or wins the game. There's no
Alright.
rounds in Gun Rush yet.
Commander Creature says, "Is this live?" Yes, you can jump in right now and.
Oh
and
my
try to
God.
kill
Is it-
Sam in
Salty
Gun Rush.
Mike
So,
asks,
My one
Is
more
that joke
I
getting
want to
old?
do in this
Yes.
stream is make sure I win a round of Gun Rush. So please try and stop me.
wanna try to win?
You just threw the gauntlet down.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that.
that's the
I was going to
entire point.
suggest they could feed us kills, make us look good, you know,
No.
put positive.
I have to earn it.
All right. So yeah. So we're also showcasing the feature as it's coming online in 320. Hopefully, in
I hope they get the sound bug.
the not too distant future. Everybody's got our fingers crossed, and other teams who are not sitting here doing this are working hard to make it so. So don't skip. What are we looking at? This obviously this is a big new change here. So you've joined into Arena Commander. It's now a combined
Were there modes that offered 2 times rec? Did I just see that?
Arena Commander Star Marine experience.
Yeah. So you unified all of our Arena Commander and Star Marine stuff, so it's all here now. It means that everything you want to be able to do, you can do from this screen, essentially, for getting into the game.
We see a few of your actual online friends.
Yep.
Wait, Sladowug's there?
A bunch of other people that Duncan has known on his account.
Hold on, let me have the thing here. So if I right-click on here,
Yeah.
I can remove Burks.
SaltEMike is down there if you want to do that.
Oh, so no, it's all right. We can just start with Burks. It's cool.
You can get more people during the entire stream.
So take us to Gunrush.
Yes, so when you want to change your game mode, you simply just click on the game mode button up here and you'll be greeted with a big list of game modes that you can play. So we are going to Gunrush first.
What is this loadout you have?
This it's not really a secret anymore, but this is the final part of Gunrush, is you get the knife and also the giant scary bear man that you run around trying to kill people with, essentially. If you kill someone with this, then you win.
There is something a little extra special from what's on screen, but we won't spoil. Hopefully we can show it on stream.
Yeah.
If Sam does good.
If I do as good as I'm trying to, at least, yeah. All right, so I am just going to jump in.
Yeah, we're playing on EU if anyone wants to join us.
Yeah,
Oh, good shout out, yes, because we are here in the
they got
UK.
Station
We are
Damien
playing on
too. This is the best
EUPT.
map.
Elimination is about to begin.
Okay, now it's super loud, of
Four,
course.
Now I have to
3,
actually show my
2,
confidence.
1. Begin.
Move into position.
Judge your style. Nice. Simon.
Who swole me? Was that Simon?
Yeah, that was Simon.
I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 with Simon.
Not that Simon.
Oh, different Simon?
Simon Brooks.
Oh yeah,
That's a
just
different
showing
Simon. The
the
Simon I play with dies a lot. So I assumed it was the same.
showing the great spawning that we have in the game currently.
Guy died literally in front of me.
Do you have a more run and gun style or tactical?
Hey,
I am
Knievel's
very
in
much
here.
a run and gun person. That is my entire...
Shout out to Knievel.
Seen a lot of regulars pop up.
Yeah. Just gotta find someone.
Is Knievel streaming right now, or are we actually going to see this game from two different perspectives? Ours
Nice.
and Knievel's on his own stream?
That would be cool. Oh, that would have been a sick combo.
Wait. Was that not burst? It didn't seem like he had any burst at all with that gun.
Yeah.
So who's B career?
That's
I
Bryn
think I got them.
Bren?
Cuvier.
Yeah, you got the kill.
Pronunciation, but don't ask me to
No,
pronounce
just
stuff.
stick to first names.
Bryn.
All right, now I've got the gun that I'm really bad
We've got
at,
3
so-
kills on Simon so far.
All right, so walk me through the rules of Gunrush here. This isn't just run around and kill everybody.
That is true. Well, I mean, that is the
That
main
is
part of
exactly
it.
what it
You
is.
The
play.
game mode.
Duncan, you walk me through the...
So Gunrush is, as you can
Oh,
see,
no.
as Sam gets a kill, his weapon changes.
No.
It's not
Healing
oh Sam, that was.
I told you I'm really bad with this pistol. I hate this pistol.
What, do we shut down the
That was so bad. Turn it off. Turn off the show. That was like watching one of my streams.
stream now or?
Oh, God.
Oh
In front
wow.
of
So as Sam
what? Okay.
gets a kill, I was hoping to time it well.
Well, the guy died from someone else as I was shooting it.
The pressure is on.
Yeah.
His gun will change. We've got 16 levels that you work through, and this mode, other than being a favourite amongst us in the team from other games,
I don't know who killed him.
it's
You killed yourself, brother.
where we used to prove out our refactor of our spawning and loadout modules. So the switching out of weapons, the changing of the armor, you'll notice that everyone in the match is wearing a different color armor. Previously that wasn't possible. It proved out a lot of technologies and got all of our favorite modes in the game as our first experimental mode.
He's doing good though.
Okay. Just
He got-
headshot me with that pistol, huh?
So Sam's finally got off the pistols.
So you mentioned the experimental modes.
spawning.
For folks who haven't watched the several ISCs we've done on this so far, what are experimental modes?
Experimental modes are limited time modes that rotate through a patch cycle. So out here on PTU right now, we have almost all experimental modes available, but in live it will be one at a time. But those modes are used to prove out features, gather feedback, or just have fun with something. Like if we have a wacky idea, which obviously won't work in the PU, we can't just switch your weapon out in the PU, right? But we can do that in Arena Commander. We can have a bit of fun with it.
I don't understand. Having fun, what is that?
Generally, it's isolated to Arena Commander, so you have to go there more often to know what that means.
Tell me you did.
Sorry, PU teams, I love
Oh my gosh, hold on.
apart from Elliot.
The views and opinions of Duncan Bunting do not represent those of Cloud Imperium Games, Robert Space Industries, Turbulent, or any of its subsidiaries.
Jeez, some of them. The Arena Commander team for sure. But no,
Dude,
this
delete the energy
patch,
lasers.
was
scope,
primarily meant to be
please.
like a bunch of refactors. There wasn't meant to be so much content in it. But we got some more time. We managed to get a bunch more stuff in there. Gun Rush is the one that we were most passionate about to get in because we thought it would be
It's the most
pretty
fun for sure.
fun and successful, and PTU's kind of proven that. I don't think there's been a time I've went in PTU.
Oh my god, what is happening?
That was a new one. That was a pirouette.
And
Excuse me.
there's always been a lobby of Gun Rush going, and there we go. Sam's on the final level,
Final
where
level.
we've got a special weapon made by Mark Abent, the person that made the spawning and loadout.
Nope.
I
Nope.
love the technique. Who's the spinning person?
I don't know.
Serpentine.
There was a match I was in last weekend where I jumped over 2 real gunshots. I felt incredible.
Oh my
What?
god, a middle mouse! What are you doing? Get a middle mouse! Middle mouse!
It's not working, so I'll just stab it. Alright.
Oh,
Hello. There you go. I got my
you win?
victory.
there you go. You won.
That's what I need.
There you go. You acquitted yourself well overall. Not bad.
know if you can hear
So this is
the
the new score.
Look at
scoring
all
screen.
the streamers
Oh, yeah.
Anything to just talk about here?
trying to get in the game.
I think this is it?
The scoreboard's been in for a while, but
the
we
scoreboard's
we
been in for a
fixed a lot.
Yeah, we have fixed a lot
things
of
with
stuff
it. There was a lot of problems in it, and we've added a bunch of quality of life improvements and whatnot. So now you can see the game mode that you're in, see your squad mates. If we were with squad mates, they'd highlight a different color. Most notably is our new UI at the top of the screen.
Fuck this map. I hate this
We just
map.
call it the top HUD, but I guess you could call it objective UI, where we've got your score, your opponent's score, and
Yeah. And of course, if you're a member of the Precision Universe team who's watching the stream and takes any umbrage with the comments of Duncan, you can jump in right now and make them pay for it.
did I make fun of the PU again?
Oh, that was very good. Sorry, I just felt very good about myself in that one.
We
Dude,
go back
he
to
just
that
had like a
triple kill,
quad
right?
kill
Yeah,
and
got
we
back-
missed it.
I switched back for the triple.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No.
Sam got a triple kill if I didn't switch back in time. In case you guys didn't see it.
I don't think that person hit me once.
That was sick.
A guy called Lizard.
Come back here.
We could say he did anything.
Oh, okay. Oh. I tried.
Look at the spawning! What happened? It wasn't as bad at the beginning. Something busted with it. What?
All right, well, hopefully we're back. It looks like Twitch just hiccuped. We didn't change anything or reset anything. We literally just hit start stream again.
Maybe that was the PU team's getting their revenge.
He's spinning it.
The PU team took down all of Twitch for 10 seconds.
That was retribution.
We were streaming on
I
Twitch
don't
the
know
whole
where I
time
got
at the
to
same
when I was
time. It had
explaining
no
the system,
issues.
So I'll just start again. Yeah, so the gun
At
game
this time.
progression or gun rush progression is essentially we didn't want to start people off with the easiest guns and just go all the way to the hardest from there onwards. Shotguns. Get out of the way. Sorry, I'm being distracted by being shot from behind as well. Yeah, we didn't want to go from the
Where's your
easiest
gun?
to the hardest, and that was it. We wanted to basically start you off with easier guns, SMGs, LMGs, and then every like 1 or 2 easy guns, we would then switch it back to a harder one to allow people to catch up, essentially.
Yeah, this is a
Obviously, it
new
doesn't
thing
work
that they
for some people.
changed too. Is the initial PTUs was pistols, and it was just like the smallest weapons up to the most like powerful, damaging ones, and then the knife at the end. And the fact that they changed it to be like more, there's like hurdles to climb over, but then you could once you climb over them, you you're able to continue making progression. I think it made the game mode a lot better.
They're just really good at snipers, which makes it not a great stopgap. But that's the overall intention of it.
Is everybody on your team in hot pink right now?
It randomizes the armor.
Randomizes the armor.
So you're not in any team in this mode. It's a free for all.
Not just the armor, but the weapon skins as well.
That's true.
So you'll notice as Sam changes
Don't know how he
weapons,
does
you get
that.
various different skins. I don't know if there's any rarity to the skins, but I always like getting the executive edition, the gold.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just randomized completely. It's just your weapons and your skin.
Hero Brian 024 asks if the toy pistol could be utilized in an experimental mode. The little Nerf gun? I'm sorry, the not Nerf gun. Sorry, not the Nerf
Switch to a
gun.
different mode now.
The foam toy gun.
You need to do your disclaimer again.
What disclaimer?
You want to continue with Gun Rush or switch out?
Yeah, we'll switch now. I think you can go on to flight one.
I can do one more. You won one, you lost one.
That's true.
Do one more. See if a rubber match here. So, but what about the weird kind of off the wall stuff? Are those the kind of things that are rife for
This
experimental
is
modes?
so uninteresting,
Absolutely.
though.
Like with Arena Commander, we can take more
Because I've already played a
liberties,
lot of
is the
this.
word, with
But I guess if you stay in Wave 1 and 2 and don't share the PTU with a majority of your community, this might be interesting for some people.
the engine. We can. It's a simulation, right? A simulation within the simulation. We can put stuff behind it's just for fun, right? We can focus on the fun. So if that silliness is fun, why not? If it's not fun, maybe not. But
So imagine you had to spec out a game
It's worse than a mobile FPS shooter, then you've never played this. Like, there's no way.
mode with the foam dart weapons now. What are your first instincts? What's the first thing that pops into your head?
should we keep keeping it 0 damage?
Yeah, that's what was my question. Was
Where does
does
the
it actually do
gameplay
any
come
damage?
from 0 damage?
Can you make it so you have to stick like 10 to a person before they die? And
They don't
it just,
stick.
It just stacks on. They just.
Or I'm thinking even more out the box, like maybe you've got an EVA race where you've got the dart gun and you shoot it and it has increased push. So it pushes your opponents off to the side. Maybe you're trying to get through some freight boxes or whatever it may be, and you push them and they go out of bounds or something like that.
See, this
For those
is
of you
the
who
type
have just
of
joined us,
discussion I wanna hear.
this is our Star Citizen Game Dev Arena Commander 320 special. This is Sam, and that's Duncan, and I'm Disco. We're currently talking about experimental modes, while Sam, to hide the fact that Sam needs to reload the client.
Yep.
Because
I mean, it wasn't my fault.
never is.
Yeah.
Just like AC can take liberties by being a simulation, we can say this is PTU. It's
But
normal.
I see a mode where it's all the darts, the little foam balls where they just stick to you, and you literally have to get like
I've never been
15 or
able to
20 to stick to a
leave
person, and then they die, and then it's like single elimination.
a
So
gun
it's like when
rush
you
match.
get 15 stuck to you, you're dead. and it's
Without
just the
alt
last person
F4ing.
standing.
Oh, I
porcupine
love
with,
that.
with darts.
We just call it porcupine.
We call it what?
Oh my-
Porcupine? Right,
I like it.
We just invented an experimental mode right now. So
Or hedgehog.
We have to do
this stream's
it.
sponsored by Asus. Oh yeah, I didn't think about it. We should. We like Asus.
Right.
All right, so we're back into the
do a
game.
flight mode
We
then?
are back into our collection
You
here.
want to switch game modes?
Yeah, that's what.
Any comment on Starfield? A whole bunch of people here playing it and having a good time.
yeah.
How's that for a comment?
So we are going to switch game modes now.
Somebody
So
in
if you'd
chat
like to
baiting them
join
about
us-
Starfield.
Switching
So
places?
cringe.
Any preference on game mode you'd like to see? I'm thinking either Squadron Battle, Classic Race.
Start with a Squadron Battle.
With what, sorry?
Start with Squadron Battle. Squadron Battle.
So Squadron Battle is obviously. I need to fit out a ship, don't I? I'm gonna go easy. And yes, it is our team-based game mode, where you are 8 versus 8. I want to say.
I think it's 8 versus 8 because it's 16. You will see
This
that
is
we're
cool.
in a new
I've
map,
not
however.
seen this once yet.
That isn't currently live, which is INS Jericho. We put it into Arena Commander so that you can practice dogfighting around this exact station. That's in the PU.
It's one of several PU locations we've taken.
Transplanted.
That's. I don't know if I like that word. um, but Jericho Station was the first ever PU location that we took, simply because it's nice and simple. It's very easy.
Yeah.
It's literally just a station in the middle of nowhere. We've got some nebulas off to the side. We've got the sun in the background. No planets. No really worries there. So it was a good starting point for us.
So is so people are joining right now.
Yep.
So yeah, so if you want to square off against Duncan in Squadron Battle right now, you can join up on the EU PTU right now, which is where we're playing. Oh, game's starting. We'll switch on over, and we'll see if you acquit yourself with the same level of
He's pretty good.
skill and competence as Sam.
Well, I was hoping we would get Winner's Circle, which is our atmospheric map. I would consider myself decent at atmospheric flight.
You're already getting missiled.
I know someone is out for me. Definitely not zero G fighting.
So
I would try.
you picked the blade.
I picked it because it has a good default loadout. I didn't want to mess about in the loadout editor.
This is tough
But
to watch with
normally I would have went for either the Gladius
the
or
head
the
movement.
Arrow, obviously switching out the ballistics on either for my gun stopped working. I think my wings are damaged or something. Switching out the ballistics for laser repeaters, since laser repeaters don't work as well. No, sorry, ballistics don't work as well on Arena Commander because to replenish them you have to pick up
His guns are back.
pickups.
When you kill people.
Yes, and I don't think I'm going to kill anyone, so
You could always steal someone else's pickups.
could do that as well.
So only one of his
for the
guns are
weapons
working.
to
The wasps
recharge.
aren't.
Yeah, Duncan's playing this one because I am an awful ship flyer.
I think they call that a pilot, Sam.
Pilot. That's the word I was looking for.
Wait, what did you say?
Ship flyer.
Ship flyer.
Yep. Proud to reveal the
This camp, this
newest
must be
profession
so
coming
off
to
of
Star
your
Citizen
setup.
and Alpha 320. Ship flyer.
Something's wrong with my blade.
Yeah.
You probably have lost your wings. Actually, no, your things shows that you still have wings.
Sorry, as Dawn Stealer correctly points out just a few weeks ago, I invented the boat tank. Or battleship.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
there's different. I'd say there's different ships that would classify as a boat tank.
This is the worst
But
SCL you've
I
ever
still think
seen.
boat tank is a good idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've seen much worse.
We are cursed in the AC team as hearing something cool like that and immediately thinking, why isn't it in AC already? You know?
So I noticed you're flying with dual joysticks today.
I am.
Why do you fly with dual sticks as opposed to HOTAS or?
I am personally really into like the immersion of games, and even though I don't know if I'm better with the dual sticks, but it feels better. Like,
Yeah.
and it looks cool as well. The cool factor is something you must consider.
Are you suggesting that you play with dual sticks because it feels cool?
It definitely
Yeah.
does feel cool, and it
Of course.
it might play a factor.
That is a valid reason. I mean, I think you can have a higher skill ceiling when you get good at joysticks as well.
Going for other CIG devs, I see. Duncan.
What happened to the beard, Jared? What do you mean? I've been here for 9 years. The beard comes and goes and changes, and like every other week.
I'm hoping that you can get at least one kill.
I will not.
Echo Bit is cheering you on.
Thank you, EchoBit. Bryn is now running away from me.
Oh yeah, it's Bryn.
Oh no, that's not Bryn, that's Brian.
Oh yeah, Brian.
There's Simon. I'm gonna go for Simon.
Yeah, Bryn,
Missling.
Brian, and Simon are all members of ACFT. So we're just
Turn to the simulation, Duncan.
I'm trying.
He's
Turn
got
to the
time.
simulation.
He's got
Duncan.
time.
I'm telling you, I can't handle these speeds.
You're exiting the simulation, Duncan.
Talking about speeds, something that we might explore later in the stream.
Sarah G says all us PvP types are shrieking at the lack of power management.
Oh, fuck. I nearly used my one word. Does that count?
Yes, that counts.
You gotta be real careful now.
Would you like to issue a reply that doesn't use profanity, Duncan?
Buttons talking hard. Can't do.
Yeah, it takes a certain skill, I feel.
I know I need to be changing between weapons and shields when I'm not using them. I just can't be bothered. I'll be honest.
It's because he's played master modes
I
and
don't know
there's
what more
no
to say. I can't be bothered.
there's no power management.
You might
in it.
remember,
or there's a lot less.
in just yesterday's ISC, not even 24 hours ago, when we put a bunch of developers in this internal playtest against folks from other areas of the company, including our wonderful gameplay capture team, and it became very apparent that, well, not that we didn't already know, but just because you can make a game doesn't mean you're good at playing a game. And that
Duncan's
gets
good at
borne
games,
out
though.
time and time
Like me
again.
and him fought in master
different
modes
skill
playtest,
sets.
and he dunked on me.
Yeah, I think me and Duncan are also just both better at FPS than we are at ship combat too.
Yeah, we're definitely more FPS focused. For me personally, I can't do the high speeds. My brain just can't do it. I would love to blame it on age, but it's really, I just can't be bothered to learn it well. But when Master Mode comes around, that's where we reduce the speeds quite significantly.
We have an experimental mode literally for that as well.
We do. We'll make sure it off later in this stream. I have a more drive, I suppose, to learn that flight model and get good at it because it brings that speed down, it brings the skill ceiling down. We suffer from Arena Commander being played by people that are really good at it. So anytime we go in there to practice, we usually get stomped on.
Yeah, it's not
But
fun.
hopefully we can bring that skill ceiling down a little bit. Master modes, I think. And we can
The next line got
get
drama.
everyone enjoying flight combat even in 0G. I was playing last weekend with
I'm not sure why.
one of the top orgs. They actually won Fighter Flight, Shadow Moses. And we were playing Squadron Battle. I put one of their members down 4-0 in Squadron Battle. So
Oh, this.
Goliath, if you're watching, take that.
Oh, you got Galoid?
It's a shame he's not playing
And
that.
if you check the leaderboards for Squadron Battle in PTU, I'm second. You know, that's just because Goliath fed those 4 kills, honestly.
Okay, he was feeding.
It's like, you're also playing with a Tobii head tracker.
I am.
So when you looked at me, everybody watching the stream, just saw the camera go. When you looked at me, it was like, they're watching this dogfight, and all of a sudden the head goes over the right.
That was me scratching my nose.
cinematic.
Oh wait, you can't see the screen now.
No.
They can see me scratch.
There you go.
There you go.
You go scratch your nose.
Scratch your nose.
Yep. And that's Tobii eye tracker. How much do you like this? I'm going to ask a question. It's not a sponsored stream or anything, but I'm curious. I noticed every time I see you playing, you're always playing with the Tobii.
It's not a sponsored stream, but they literally have ads for Toby on their website.
I assume you like it a lot.
I was on the fence about it to begin with because that's a lot of movement. But when you're the person playing or even just watching, it's really immersive.
It is immersive
it's
when you
very
have it. I don't
intuitive
like to have it on stream because
how
it is.
works. And
can be very
personally,
jerky.
I need it for racing because generally you're not looking where you're going in racing. You're like
You're
going
looking
to
at
the
where
side
you're going
like
to.
this, moving.
Yep.
So it's very useful.
Yeah,
for
it's
racing.
giving me motion sickness as well.
So I was curious because the three of us are. What is happening? What are you doing?
I was blacking out.
Okay.
because,
Yeah,
So-
it was a hard G turn.
So because there's the three of us in close approximation, if I get too close, will the Tobii track me instead of you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's because you're blocking my eyes.
Hard mode. Hard mode now. Hard mode now.
As long as you don't block my eyes, I think it's fine. That's a feature I really like, the eye tracking. So right now I'm not moving my head. This is all my eyes doing it. So I'll look to the left, look to
I
the
turn
right.
the eye
That's
tracking
just my
off.
eyes that are moving.
I only use it for targeting.
Big fan of that.
I've seen a couple
Because
names
I
I
always
recognize.
look at chat.
Herbiza was in this game for a little while. A guy called Lizard followed us over from the other one. Keeble's back. Yep. T-Bones. Shout out to T-Bones.
Lovely
See
name.
the full lobby list with our new scoreboard. Wow. Gods of the North is killing everyone.
Yeah. No deaths.
No deaths either. Jared being a bully? No. Jared being a wild card, an agent of chaos.
Jared being Jared.
Never a bully.
I feel like he's not killing anybody because he's always switching.
Simon. I might be able to kill Simon. I don't think. Have I got a single kill? I don't know.
I don't
No.
think you have yet. I think you got close and then you got killed. Which I guess is how
After
it
this,
goes a lot of
we'll
the time.
pass it back to Sam and maybe play some.
Tank.
We'll
Game.
ground it a little bit.
Oh yeah, we can go back to another.
Did they do
experiment.
Did they do tank? I saw in the update they
So
fixed
yeah,
the tanks, so they're not really annoying.
You're still going to try to. You're still going to hunt for your first kill.
Oh yeah.
All right, no.
We'll wait until the
I-
round finishes.
We're here until Duncan gets one kill.
Oh.
You want
Might
to go
be
after
here
the
for a
person who's
while.
winning?
Just one kill.
Okay.
Just one kill.
Gods of the North. If we can negotiate,
Just announced this will be a 24-hour stream.
don't use flares.
Maybe try some power management. Avail yourself of the tools.
I hope I was locked on there.
Feels like he is still.
He is AFK. I'm going to go in. I need to go faster.
There's no way you could lose.
There's
Well,
no
if
way
I
you can
crash
lose
into
except
him, maybe.
somebody's killing him from behind.
Oh!
There we go.
There you go.
All we needed was an AFK player.
Thank you. Studio erupted in applause.
I'd like to say I knew you could do it, but that'd be a lie.
Well, you got another 4 minutes of this now.
We can quit out.
I suppose that's true.
All right, you want to switch over to
Yeah.
a Tonk Royale?
Yes.
So
I think
for those
this
people
is a
who
perfect
may-
example of how uninteresting watching Arena Commander, like actual Arena Commander, not like the FPS modes, is currently, because it's too much. And it reminds me of what everyone says about like Overwatch. There's too much shit going on. Nobody knows what's happening, and it's they don't know like the finer details of what players are doing, and it's just not interesting. The 2v2 stuff from like Fight or Flight's pretty cool, but even then the finer details are just not very fun to watch. Like the FPS stuff is just way more fun because I think people can just relate to it way more. Right now, the flight combat is so difficult to get into. I just can't see people being hyped about it.
We haven't followed the project forever. Why is it called Tonk Royale? Do you guys know the story? I know the story. I was there.
It's actually called Tank Royale in the game. We didn't want it to be in lore.
You chickened out?
We didn't.
Chickened out?
I want to be clear on that. I didn't.
It was a decision.
But no, I know the origin, but only after we did the ISC on it because
Yes.
people sent it.
Yeah, we didn't know the reason for that naming convention until after. But yeah.
Well, I'm sure some of the Star Citizen elders are in the chat, and they can tell their fellow chatters why where Tonk came from.
Because we made
Shout
fun of
out
a
to,
French guy's accent.
Dear friend Corrington.
He doesn't work there
All right,
anymore.
so we're back in the interface now. So this lovely new.
Yes, this has been updated as well since the last time it was shown on ISC. Obviously, it's
I
been
would
on
assume so.
PTU. Well, it's been updated substantially visually.
You want to show some of the things that have been added since?
Yeah, so I believe previously we had the title quite small written up in the top right, but now it's been pushed a lot more into the center as well. We've done a lot of visual flair stuff on this basically just to make it pop a lot more.
How many
when
players,
you're
what
looking
it
at
is
different
kind of
tiles.
cool.
We put the description behind this little hover button as well, so you can read what you're actually doing in the mode.
And a big thing for us was new players, they don't necessarily know what a game mode is about, right? So we wanted to get that description in. But on top of that description, we wanted to give some tags for like what is the game mode about? Like, am I going into PvP, going into PvE? What's going on here? So you can see these white tags underneath every single game mode, detailing.
What does head-to-head mean? Just like not a team mode? I figured head-to-head is like 1v1.
If you can bring squad members in, how many players is it? Is it PvP? Or do you get to pick your loadout and so on? So what are we going to go into? Tank?
We'll do team, I think.
There we go. Also on here, if you show on Tank Royale, we have the rec multiplier as well as a trophy icon to show whether or not you have the badge unlocked for this game mode. The badge being if you win the game mode, you have to come first. To win it, it will show a little trophy icon to show that you've completed that.
No badge
objective.
for Gun Rush.
And hopefully we'll expand on that in the future, but for now I wanted to get that in so you can see
Your achievements.
your achievements, yeah, and get a screenshot.
Yep. And if you're just joining us, we are playing Arena Commander 320 live on the EU PTU. We're about to join into Team
There
Tank
is?
Battle. So
then I
if
have
you
it.
want to play with Sam,
Or are we
here,
waiting for live?
you can jump in now and join one of the squads.
If there is, why didn't you have it? Or is it because you weren't moused over?
You can join either squad, but I recommend the one that gets to kill him, just from knowing him.
I'm
And
just spending the time.
you're just spinning the tank. This
Yeah.
which
Trying to get
Oh, that
faster
was a
and
very
faster.
important feature I asked to get in.
Yeah, we had to.
Spin. I
talk
also
to
want a
UI
spin
tech about
counter,
it.
but that was apparently too complicated. But we got spinning.
One day, I'm sure it won't be too complicated. Anyway, I'm going to launch. So yeah, you can join us in Team Tank Battle if you'd like.
oh, that Gladius that just swooped in.
Yes, yeah. The in the front end, we have videos in the background basically that just play. Nice little looping videos for you to look at in the background as well. Someone died on
Someone
the
So
spot.
died
does
already?
that say DI button, or is that just the J and the font doesn't show the
That's
that's a
an
font
issue
problem.
with the font.
font problem?
It's J for John. My middle name.
Duncan John.
Tank Royale.
Yeah, we've got two tank modes. Obviously, Tank Royale, which is free for all, and this is Team Tank Battle, which is a team tank battle.
Yeah, I should be able to show other team
Each
tanks
one
right over
has kind of a different play style to it. Team Tank Battle is a little bit more tactical, I would say.
here. Yeah, you want to stick with your other tank mates.
Yeah. And you want to like push forward. It's kind of
D.
like a,
John. Yeah, we
a
can call
tug
him
of war
Mustard.
on the map to push to and from your spawn. And then Tank Royale is obviously way more chaotic. So Sam prefers Team Tank Battle, the tacticalness of it. I like
Well,
Tank Royale.
This
and I
pissed you
just-
off making
I do-
this? Why? Why would them making this piss you off? It's they're taking assets from the game and trying to make Arena Commander have fun game modes. Why would this piss you off? It's the whole point of this is to make fun game modes and not affect the PU negatively and only affect it positively. What about anything that they do would piss you off is something that I don't
Also,
understand.
just like driving directly into people. So I don't know if that's entirely true.
Who doesn't?
But
I live my life
bring
in
the
LA.
chaos to the tactical mode.
Storm Chokehawk in the chat asks,
Is
if we
this
have
live?
ship or vehicle skins, can we apply them in Arena Commander?
Yes.
God,
For
the tank
almost
driving the
every
tanks
mode.
is so
I
fucking
think
bad.
You can for Tank Royale if you own the tank. So we've got this concept of communal vehicles now, and communal vehicles are free
the mode
game
that you're
modes.
playing in.
Yeah, free vehicles for the game mode, which you can't use anywhere else. You get given to them without any cost, no rec, no UEC, money or anything like that, and they are non-customizable. But you can always rent the item using the Arena Commander currency rec, or purchase it from the pledge store, and you'll get your customization.
Several questions in the chat and in my brain. Why are the tanks floating around instead of staying
That
solidly
is
on the
a
ground?
issue that has been fixed but isn't in the PTU
Yeah,
yet.
unfortunately, we
Shoot
rolled
your
the
gun!
lightest gravity map.
Yes.
So on this, you need to be a little bit more mindful.
Oh, he just wants to
of,
push them?
Your acceleration and whatnot. But also, there is a bug right now,
Yeah.
in that you can pull a wheelie with a tank.
Yeah, currently
It was
you can do a
fixed
lot of
last
styling.
night. It was fixed last night, but we are on that build
Yeah.
where Sam is now pulling wheelies.
And my gun is disabled, so okay, thank God.
Oh, his gun was disabled. Oh, okay.
That's not to say that there can't be a mode where you're on an incredibly zero G.
Oh yeah. We could
know,
put you on
surface.
a yes.
But why would you put a tank in a zero-G environment?
But
Super
that's
low
not
key
what
stuff.
that's supposed to be.
No.
Yeah, it's a lot more floaty than it is meant to be at the moment, for sure.
Yeah. Now don't get us wrong. It is meant to be a little bit floaty, like being yellow. That's 0.2 gravity.
Yeah, it's pretty low in yellow.
Yeah.
Which is really low. So you do have to manage your speeds going over these hills. I'm very glad you can't see the screen.
I don't even know how to explain what just happened.
Okay.
Sam forcefully entered the map to his own death.
Yeah.
He entered the map with such force.
I'm doing great.
And
on score.
terminated
You don't need to look at my score.
his existence.
I'm doing fantastic in this mode.
Apologies for not being on the camera.
Why?
It's fine, I just need to
Now
tell
we
my
get to
Why
see
show
this.
tank mode in
Yeah,
this?
I'm doing great on this mode. I really do not do well on this
pushes
map
people away,
with
I
this
think.
current tank bug because it is so floaty and I hate driving slowly.
Yeah, as Yelmerk points out, that's still a one-ton tank on a 0.2 gravity. Yes, and as we've explained, this is a
I am
bug.
wheeling.
It's fixed in internal builds. It hasn't made its way out to PTU yet.
Specifically,
It should
how
be
the
out
handling
now, though. No,
happens,
I saw it in the
We were
patch
hopeful
notes.
it'd be out before today's stream, but
Yes.
as it happens sometimes.
I think it came out after their stream.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of also, there's the wheelie.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really?
We should get like a scoring if you pull a wheelie.
Yeah. That's very true.
Old F.
One thing to bring up, however, is that in this mode we do put you in the remote turret automatically when you spawn. Because we don't. Oh, they took out my gun again. Yeah, so it means that you don't have to worry about doing that to get to that point.
Anyone think-
And then also we have the ability to turn. Oh,
Yeah,
you
but-
just self-destructed me, didn't you?
I did.
Unbelievable.
But
You just
Kill Death
self-destructed
camera.
him.
Yep.
If
that's
your
it.
gun's
Reached
out, you
across
should
and
self-destruct.
self-destructed him?
That was
his gun was disabled.
Yeah,
I
am
was helping
basically-
by killing him.
So
Oh.
It's only when the
he
camera isn't
forcefully re-entered the map one more time. So when you do get back in, show him the wheel. Show him the ability to change the seats in the vehicle is also one of the new features.
on. It isn't.
Is it?
Not in this one.
No.
To be able to swap between seats with the radio wheel?
This mode is a mess.
Not at the moment.
No?
You can enter the remote turret from the
I
driver's
guess I should
seat.
say was a mess.
But the multi-crew aspect.
I want to give it a
Yeah,
try
but that's what that
in
is,
the
though.
new
That's
build.
switching the seats of the vehicle. There's two different seats.
Not for
the driver.
320.
No.
And
It has so much
in the
potential,
future,
but
we
right
may
now
do.
it's just
Because
mega
obviously
rough.
the tank has free seats actually.
And this is where I'm already seeing it. No, this is the opposite of wasted dev time. Like, bro, here's the thing, and this is the only reason I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel is we need to have this conversation, okay? Because my community is always so negative and always so, quick to point out everything bad, and I know that comes from, starts from the top with me. So far, throughout the PTU cycle, there has been a number of janky things removed with the stuff that is used in Arena Commander game modes. And so long as that trend continues, this is the complete opposite of wasted dev time. And finally, somebody is doing something to improve the fucking game that we spent money on. Okay? So tanks acting like this have always acted like this. And it took Arena Commander to make it a priority to fix. Which is, you want to argue about something? We can argue that it took Arena Commander to fix these things and not problems in the PU. That's insane. But because you play the game mode over and over again and you see how problematic all these things are, it's easy to show that this is a priority fix and needs to be done. Okay? There's no wasted dev time. Duncan and his team don't work on the PU whatsoever, but thank God they work on Arena Commander because shit like this would still exist in the PU. Right? Something like that's a really bad excuse for them. They could add ground content in the PU and then fix the actual game so they aren't wasting time to fix things twice. What ground content would they add in the game? So you can take one small team, throw together a random tank battle mode that would take a quarter of the time, a tenth of the time, to add ground combat gameplay. What does that even look like other than placing someone in the game on the ground, which is exactly what Arena Commander does? Ground combat gameplay doesn't exist because these tanks were just sold to be tanks, first off. Yeah, but now they're going to have to fix things twice. Now that's how it works. Okay, bro, I'm not arguing with somebody that
Gotcha.
It's got your
Can't
remote.
have a logical
machine
conversation
gun
with someone.
and
How is
the turret.
How is taking a tank and making it less floaty in a low G environment having to fix it twice?
Yes, basically.
Clearly, I thought the AF
We did look
3AC
into
FT
making it so that you could have multiple people in the
was
tank. The thing that came up was
a
basically
little
the
farther
second
ahead.
person only got to use the piddly laser gun, so it wasn't really worth them being in it.
Did you insult us?
I'll get it upside down.
I know it's multi-crew is something like
How cool that would have been?
It would have
if you'd
been.
gotten that kill right there.
it would have. But we've got multiple maps
We do.
here for the tank modes. We've
I've
got
only
four.
played this
I
map.
maybe want to switch to one where the gravity's
probably
a
I
bit,
might
a bit
try.
I
more
would love to.
accurate.
You want to back out? And
Look at that
go
guy
to-
just sliding.
That was cool.
His gun's dead.
All right.
Yeah, why don't we switch to a map
So that's the next thing that would need to get fixed is your gun can't die that easily.
that doesn't have a terrible zero G bug,
Yeah.
and we can look like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's try that again.
Go with the regular.
Yeah.
And just see if it throws us into a different.
We can
Lear
try.
2? I don't know if we've ever seen Lear 2. We've seen Lear 3.
The Good Doctor is good.
Nice zoom.
That is a beautiful zoom. Oh, we got Daymar. Daymar's still good.
Timer's okay.
All right.
So is it
Now we're in
less
Daymar,
problematic
you'll notice
here?
that it's still a little floaty, but not anywhere near as floaty. And yeah, so going back to some of the things that we've done for the mode, is that you get turned into turret view, remote view immediately when you spawn in. And the other thing is that we have a zoom back on the tank now. So I believe that's it across the PU
Oh,
now
Good
as well.
Doctor's on
It
Lear
is,
2.
yeah.
Ah.
We did some tests. We made sure it was fine for the PU, and it was an Arena Commander driven feature, but it's going to benefit everyone now.
We have not
That
introduced the giant floating structure.
The
What is
structure-
that?
Don't talk about the giant floating structure.
The Necron monolith doesn't want you to address it. Is the
Please
way
avert
I-
your eyes.
Yeah. In
And this is
terms of what
PL.
why it's there, it's purely just so that people can easily see where the middle of the map is.
Yeah. We
'Cause
have
some of these maps
plans.
are sizable.
We have plans for it.
It's a Theaters of
What
War
were
thing,
those-
is my
What are those
guess.
spaceships in Stargate called? The ones that were pyramid shaped, land on top of the Gual
Yeah.
ship. I don't know if they
Stargate, and I can't-
did they have an actual? Did they have a name? I'm sure they did. Attack. There we go. You know, I could rely on the community.
Thank you, Twitch chat.
Definitely not a attack.
Can't find anybody.
Yeah, it's-
So we're still in squadron battle or team battle, right?
no, this is now just free for all.
Oh, you switched to. Why are you pushing his buttons?
That's your ping button. Because we've got joysticks plugged in, it changes the button for ping. Just showing Sam the button.
Which one was it?
The
Hold
middle
V.
one and the bottom. Someone's using flak to conceal themselves. But yeah, putting this in Arena Commander meant that the tank got a little bit more attention than it
Thank
would
you,
have
Bergo.
otherwise.
Thank you
with
so
the
much.
20.
Tier 3 too. Thank you so much.
Pretty much all the improvements you're going to be seeing from Tank Ram might not have happened without this game mode.
There you go.
It's,
And-
they might have, they might.
Like, that's the problem. You know, we can definitely argue that that's the problem, that it took Arena Commander to make these basic improvements for things that people spent money on. That's not good. That's not a good thing. But the
But,
fact that they're happening,
seeing all the
is
teams gravitate towards
fine.
the game mode and support and be like, man, that was so fun. I can fix that bug for you.
We've made no
Yeah.
secret of this. Part of the reasons for experimental modes are not just to test the mode, a type of gameplay. It's also a test. It allows us to bring focused testing to individual vehicles
Exactly.
or to individual aspects of gameplay. As you just mentioned, the Nova tank. It's been in there for a while, but it doesn't have as many opportunities for use in the PU as, say, a Cutlass does or whatever. So we don't get the amount of feedback we would. We don't get to see the amount of usage. By creating a
you
mode
get the
like
feedback.
this,
You just don't do
it
anything
instantly
with
gets
it.
more eyes on the tank. It generates more feedback on the
That's-
tank.
that's the
Then we can
argument
iterate
people are
more
gonna make.
improvements and make the tank better.
Is that's where everyone's going to call bullshit. Is you've gotten the feedback. There's an issue counts to report. Enough people have put it up, guaranteed. But yeah.
And that kind of mentality can be used for
I think it just comes down to you have a whole team that works on Arena Commander that are based around certain features, right? So every gun in the FPS modes, especially Gun Rush, it's going to help. But when you have an entire mode built around a tank, then the team that works at the Arena Commander team can be like, guys, whatever you thought wasn't a priority before, we have an entire mode for this. It is now a priority now, right? And that's the only thing is now you have Duncan, now you have Sam, and now you have, well, I guess other people, Brian or whoever other people that are on their teams that they had mentioned, that get to go and say, can you please fix these guns? Can you please make these changes? This is bad, right? And this is ruining our game mode. I think that's more what can happen, unfortunately, is that, hey, nobody uses the tank except for sometimes at Jumptown. So it's not a priority. But then the moment that you build something around a certain ship in Arena Commander, the team that works on the Arena Commander team says, hey, guys, we need these fixes. So then they have to become a priority. Internal priority is greater than external, and that's not how it should be, but that's how it is.
vehicle that
that's
folks
where my
might
anger
think
is don't talk about us like we're important when you don't prioritize us whatsoever. That bothers me, but I'm absolutely happy with the way things are turning out, I guess.
Somewhat
I don't know if
forgotten
I never
or
asked him. I
maybe
don't have
didn't
contact with him.
live
If
up to
it's
its
okay to
ultimate,
react to his videos, so
potential.
I haven't.
What's he saying? Yeah, for sure. It's one thing I really want for Arena Commander to help the overall game and bring that attention. And we got so many nice quality of life. Like this Zoom, that wouldn't have been here without the game mode for sure. It was one of the highest parts of feedback from our playtest sessions. Like I loved sniping with the tank, but I can't see anything. So now we've got a zoom and I got it. Nice. So you can get shots like that.
Wait, there's another.
Jared, say hi to Jake for me. He's on the other side of the world, man. You're probably closer to him than I am.
It's really looking.
Come
I
on.
have to get a little closer.
Have you gotten a kill? In
I did,
Game
You
Jam?
just
get
did.
one.
You got an amazing snipe.
There's one
I was
here.
looking at something else.
There we
Oh.
go.
Yeah, nice.
I love sniping in this game.
Yeah, it's really good on this map as well because you can see people stand out a lot more in the distance. Oh, there's someone behind me. If I can't not flip.
Oh. Yep. You should take turret to maintain balance.
Yeah,
Pro move.
it's a great
Another
tool.
feature. Oh,
There's Brian.
Oh. I think Marshall was the person in game that.
Oh,
he's-
you just got
he's in the
shot.
chat
Yeah, in the
now.
back as well.
someone's got you. They're behind you.
No.
Blues Manx is saying if we reduce the rocks, the map would be 10 times more fun.
It
Yep.
would, and we had long debates about it.
Yes.
Like, this is Daymar. This is actually a location on Daymar. Other than putting the monolith in,
That actually was designed by people who think it should look a certain way and not play a certain way. And that is, again, this is now the opposite of the example that we just gave. This is where Arena Commander should tell the people who make the art, and the way fucking Daymar looks, it doesn't play well. Ugh.
we
Holy
haven't
shit.
changed things about it, right? The rocks are there, and that it might seem like obvious feedback, but getting some tanks down here, you see how hard it can be to fight on some terrain, and this is not the worst of it. There's far worse biomes, I suppose. Oh, self-destruct in. Yeah.
This is what you get for being AFK, Brian. You're probably doing work, but it's too bad.
So it goes into that updates thanks to the game
didn't
mode,
even
right? You didn't get the kill.
Unbelievable.
You killed yourself trying to kill him,
Yeah, my gun wasn't
and
working.
he's still there.
Yeah.
No, he got the
Oh,
kill.
there
He
you
just
go.
got it.
There
He
you
just
go,
got it.
afterwards.
How did that work? Whatever.
That moment on the CIG dev stream when the dev said, "How did that work?"
I'll take
whatever.
It's fine.
We're really
I got the
quitting
kill, but not
ourselves well.
the vehicle destruction. So, I'm not sure.
It's because he did enough damage and then somebody
You're
else
watching
shot
the
him.
last gameplay stream they ever let Disco Lando do, only on twitch.tv/Star Citizen.
Game mode's about to end.
Honestly, good.
Do we want to?
I hope so.
Let it end, because it's about to.
I hope
What do we
so.
reckon we go into next?
I mean, we can ask the chat, but otherwise we could probably do some control. And
I think it would have been super fun to sit down, highlight some of the things that they have done, and talk about what the next plans for Arena Commander are. Like what things are on their plate. But I assume that there'll be a
then after that,
sitcom demo thing of that probably.
head it off with some Endless Swarm. What's the time?
That's what I was hoping to see out of this.
Probably do some Endless Swarm then. Maybe one race and then an Endless Swarm.
I have not done an
Endless
Endless
Swarm in a
Vandal
race.
Swarm yet.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Since the first
Classic
Evo
race,
test with
a
it.
game mode, which we love, but before this patch, the multiplayer wasn't exactly working.
I want to shout out to Chris Archer. Good showing, Chris Archer. Chris Archer, I wish you were here to demonstrate pro gameplay.
We got 3 kills. That's pretty good.
Okay.
It's
This is
low.
a larger
One of
match.
them you drove up to him and blew yourself up.
A tactic. Is a tactic.
Come on.
If it works, it works.
My gun was broken. That was literally the only thing I could do.
Hopefully they fix the guns. I don't think the turret gun should ever break. I think maybe the tracks should.
Battle Royale initiated.
Let's go classic race.
Yeah.
We'll do one race and then into Endless Vandal Swarm. Personal favorite of mine.
It used to be tanks used to one hit to a tank from a tank killed the tank. Then they addressed that, but now it's killing the health of the gun. So
It's,
I think it's going to take some time, but they'll hopefully.
Vandal Swarm, but endless.
Jared, are you really getting angry emails if you mess up on stream? Raven, I'm on like year 9. I'm approaching a decade here. At this point, people know who I am and what I do, and if anybody's surprised, it's really on them, not on me.
Okay, I like that. That's good to hear.
I take my continued existence as a tacit approval and endorsement.
It's probably not a good thing though, but yeah.
All right, so
The gun only dies when you're one shot from death now. 3 to 4 shots. It used to be disabled in a single shot. Yeah. It seems like he's being disabled in a single shot though. Is that in the Friday build that you guys weren't playing, or is that a thing that was in the build that you were playing and I just didn't notice how many times he was getting hit?
what are you going to race in?
Actually, I might just go
The
show
fuck was
off
that?
offline mode. So offline.
Jimmy, I don't know who Brian is. Stop telling me to say hi to Brian. I need more information than that. I'm here with Sam and Duncan. Those are the people I can say hi to.
Say hi to
Hi,
Sam
Brian.
and Duncan, please.
It's pretty easy.
Oh, you just want me to say hi, Brian?
That's been there all to the 320
Every
people.
Brian deserves
Not a
a
lot of
hi.
feedback on getting hit in remote view.
He's in hard
Gotcha.
work.
Okay.
No, every Brian does not deserve a hi. I've known
bad Brian.
some real bad Brians.
Oh no.
I got to admit, though, the fact that he's in a place where he's about to die, I just think it should have. I don't know. I just don't think it's fun to be in a situation where all you could do is move and not fire with a tank. So, like, if the top turret dies, you should just go with it. Probably. I don't know.
That doesn't bode well.
If you're a bad Brian, that high was not for you. Please ignore it.
All right, I want to watch this. I haven't seen him race.
So I've went in offline mode, which is what previously called single player. So you can go in without anyone griefing you, without anyone.
In PU, it's an early warning to get the fuck out. True.
You're gonna race by
Yeah.
yourself?
Why not?
He wants to show his skill.
So you going to do that some other day, or?
I mean, I guess that's fair, but he's a pretty decent racer. At least compared to me, but I'm also terrible, so I don't know how good of a compliment that is.
You can show off offline mode.
Pretty good, pretty
But
good.
yeah, this offline mode, which lets you basically practice without having to worry about other people
Damn,
crashing into
ninja!
the
To
deploy.
wait for
I didn't
players.
see which razor you picked. Which razor did you pick?
The Razer LX. Oh, that's something I wanted you to help with. Picking the skin. I need to stop looking at the side. I apologise. But yeah, I changed my skin to. I want to say this is a Stormbringer skin.
Yeah.
Favorite of mine, black and blue. Lovely color combination.
Don't try to race in third person.
Yeah, no.
But as we said before in the previous ISCs, we are adding a lot of PU racetracks to AC, so you can go into not all of the PU racetracks currently, but quite a few of them, and we'll be adding more in the future.
It's
Where
killing
you
it.
can test AC to your heart's content without having to worry about having to get your shit back from the terminals and return to the racetrack just to try all over again. You'll be able to respawn immediately and keep trying to beat your personal best, essentially.
Jared's office is apparently cafeteria. No, we're at the end of the day, end of the week here. So that was a lovely person who had volunteered to clean up some of our dishes that were still left behind it because people eat at their desks. It was a lovely volunteer person. Thank you for your efforts. You're a much nicer person than some of the people around here. Speaking about the Razor, we just
that's kinda fucked.
released our episode on racing for ISC yesterday.
It was a fantastic episode.
Thank you. And some folks had some. I do want to address some of the comments I saw on YouTube here, and this is as time as any. These were all real CIG developers, and what you heard was their real opinions, which is why some of them trashed the 350R. Some of them really liked the.
Is this in relation to what I said about the fact that it's shameless promotion for the sale? I don't believe you, Jared. I don't believe you, and I'll never believe you because you've done this shit for 10 years straight. Why the fuck would I ever believe that you're not trying to sell the new ship? Give me a fucking break.
The Razor, and some of them had nothing real to say about the M50, which that itself is the story. Is the story there. It's when we talk about how these modes can be used to help discover shortcomings and
That we've told you about for years, but you've ignored. Come on, dude. This is such bullshit.
and stuff like that. And saying nothing is saying something in a lot of cases. So, but we, when we were doing the interviews, we were asking folks to, what do you think about this ship and what do you think about that ship? And it was all unprompted. It was all just like we do with any ISC interview.
Yeah.
You're hearing the actual views of the people that we put on camera. It's one of the things that separates CIG content from a lot of other content, and I really like.
Okay, now say that that's true, which I still don't believe. But say that's true, then why is every single time a new ship comes out, it's the best?
And
So then maybe the problem isn't with the developer flying the ship. Maybe it's with the ones making them.
folks, had some positive things to say about some ships, and they had some negative things to say about some ships. And unfortunately, it's I think the M50. What the consensus we got from the conversation was it was kind of just in the middle of stuff and not standing out as well as it could. And I think that itself is some information worth getting back to ship teams and stuff like this. Obviously, the folks were enthralled with the new Fury LX.
Obviously,
commonly stating that everything players are thinking are the same things we're thinking, just a couple months ahead of you. And stuff like this. For many of them, that playtest was their very first experience with the Fury LX. It's like that. So they were blown away by it. And it is a very cool looking ship. But as I think a lot of people already know, what are you doing? A lot of people already know. The ship only takes you so far. There's the pilot. The pilot matters just as much as the ship, and depending on the situation, sometimes more. I mean, certain situations, a ship can make up for your lack of skill. In certain situations, but in other situations, the ship is not ideal, and it takes your skill to make up for that. So I don't think there's a blanket answer for all things. We're certainly not wanting to push the narrative that the Fury LX is better in all regards and stuff like this. It's the new excitement at the moment, and our developers were excited to fly it for the first time, which is what we were recording and stuff like this. We hope our backers and our players will be just as excited to fly it too. But as people learn its strengths and people learn its weaknesses, it'll normalize itself out with everything else.
On the topic of developers playing stuff for the first time, that's something we're trying to do in AC with the experimental modes as well. We want to basically help the rest of
this
SIG,
whole Vanderbilt. Okay, I've not seen it changed yet.
Features and systems early, so they can test them in a good location and quickly, so that they can find those issues and address them before they get further afield, essentially.
This is my first time
Somebody
seeing
had
it.
a comment in chat that was near and dear to my heart. I lost the name for it. It shows what you know. I can make any ship look bad. It's Walker. There he is. Walker TR1.
That would be me as well, to be fair.
But I think as more racetracks come online and more situations develop and stuff, we can start to specialize some of these experiences. Like this is a more maneuverable ship versus this is a more acceleration based ship versus this. If we get some long distance like cannonball run style races in there, I think things like the 350R might acquit itself better with larger fuel reserves and stuff like that. These situations are all still being developed and still being borne out, and I think as the game continues to develop, we'll see more and more separation between the ships and advantages of one over another dependent on the situation.
Damn, it
not
feels
just
so
the situation,
slow.
but also the pilot or ship flyer.
Not that DJ's going slow. This is this
referred
master
to it.
modes, or is this because it's in atmosphere now?
Once again, ship flyer, the new profession coming to Alpha 320.
I used to call the ships planes, but it made a lot of people angry.
I remember
Why would you call them planes?
I don't know. It's
the ammo thing,
It behave a bit like planes.
It doesn't
when you're
have
in
that
atmosphere.
feeling of speed
But not.
the way
It's
it
just
used
where
to.
my bad English brain goes. And
The cannonball, the
mean it's
cannonball
not
run
fun.
race, that was one of my.
Just a drag race, basically.
Well, no, I had, early on, one of my earliest ideas. We're not there obviously yet, but this idea of doing the cannonball
This is
flight,
way
where
better than the
it's
old
a
way.
multi-system
The
race.
old map, so much better.
You start in one system, you've got to get to another system, and how you plot your route is up to you. Between which jump points and everything, and you time it at a certain.
All right, so talk to me. I don't like the. I'm confused by what I'm seeing. So when you die, it looks like it's putting you so you can reset your lap. I like that. But it's still giving you the option to go back to the same spot?
Time of the
Maybe
year
that's
when
good.
there's
It's
some
an
natural
endurance and
phenomenon.
preparation race,
There's some natural phenomenon that screws up a bunch of jump points, so a bunch of the normal jump points don't work. So you have to figure out how to plot your thing, and then you'll need spotters ahead of you to figure out what your routes are. And then of course there will be all the people who are trying
It
to
should
sabotage.
go to the last checkpoint. Oh, okay. That's what I was gonna say. I don't necessarily like being at the last checkpoint. I almost like just restarting your lap if you die, but at the same time, how do you continue to practice the issue location? Hey, I'm really bad at that turn. Same issue. Gun game has spawn logic is fucked.
The
Okay.
race and stuff like this, and it'd be a true like long distance multi-system cannonball flight. You know, what we call cannonball flight or whatever. But
What's a cannonball flight?
yeah, this was this thing. This is my dream. This has been my dream for racing. And I'm not talking about anything official. This is literally the first time. Well, it's not the first time, but one of the few times I've said it out loud. It's just this thing. Like I'm waiting when the game is there and supports it. Like I
What's a
plan to
cannonball run? I don't
push
know what that
forward-
is.
Push forward very hard.
There's always so much cool stuff in sci-fi, like in The Expanse. They have races in that where they're doing like slingshots around massive bodies so that they can get the fastest speed possible around something.
Ah, he's
Yeah,
going
imagine,
down
you
to
know,
the surface.
They've all got to be multi-crew ships, and it's because it's a long distance, long distance race.
Me and Jared talked about this in 2016 for hours. About his idea for what he's saying here. He's not giving any detail to what
You got
he wants to do. I remember we stayed up late one night just talking in the hotel, and that's what we were talking about.
in shifts in crews. So somebody taking pilots for
Yeah,
6
yeah,
hours,
like we
and
do in
somebody
real
else
life,
takes over
yeah.
pilots. Exactly.
It's just an endurance race,
just like
yeah.
the real life endurance races. Like that's the stuff I'm really waiting for.
I love that Arena Commander is encouraging more things like that. Not just from an ideas perspective, but like actually getting in there and doing it.
And boss, we could call it around the verse. We could resurrect around the
Oh.
verse.
Yeah.
Call it around the verse.
Yeah, yeah.
Do we have time for one more game mode? Or?
He's very excited about that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show off.
can do one more. We're out of time.
what
We can do one more.
What I'm very proud of getting in for 320, and that's a preview of master modes in Arena Commander.
All right.
Yeah, let's see this.
Through
'cause
that, we've got
you guys
3
don't get
game
to see
modes
this
that you
on
can
my
try
stream.
out.
I haven't
We've
done
got
any
Vandal
combat.
Swarm, we've got Free Flight, and we've got Duel. Now, if you're curious what master modes is, can they see the screen here?
Yep.
You get a disclaimer when you select any of the game modes. It kind of explains what the flight system is about. What does master modes mean, right? It's an update to the flight system. It's a new gunnery system. It's a new targeting system. Lots of new UI, and amongst that is master modes feature itself, where it's been in development for quite a number of years, and it's been behind closed doors essentially. We showed off. I think you've done some ISCs on it.
We've done ISCs. We've done Citizen Guns.
Yeah, we've done
Yeah,
too much.
Big.
Yeah, and it's always been a thing for us. Like, we need to get it in players' hands, get that feedback, right? And I'm really happy that we managed to do that for 320 here.
Yeah, when we recorded the very first Arena Commander segment for ISC on the stuff that's coming in
Matt,
320,
that one is-
what is now like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
It was the hope that we were going to be able to get master modes in there, but we couldn't guarantee it at
Not
that
yet,
time.
Zero.
So we didn't include it.
So I'm in one of those free game modes, and it's Vandal Swarm. Now, we didn't want to just copy the current Vandal Swarm because it's honestly in need of some love, some updates. So instead of just making those updates to the base mode, we wanted to experiment with experimental modes, right? 2 birds, 1 stone, with updates to Vandal Swarm. So instead of waves where you have an ending, this is now endless Vandal Swarm. So you're up against endless waves of Vandal.
Just have to
and
survive.
Yeah, exactly. The objective is simply survive, and I suppose get as many points as you can.
Wasting all your ballistics now?
Every time I play this, the Vandal always missile all at the start, so I've...
Kate Arian says, any chance we could see some sort of trench run or a Return of the Jedi style Death Star assault someday? I'm not going to say yes or no to that. I will say that I'm not aware of any plans for that. But given how important that source material is to almost everybody that works here, it's not an unsafe bet. But there's no plans at the moment.
Yeah. Typically, if something gets made for the PU and people want it in AC, we can probably put it in AC.
Did you just say you subbed to me for the emotes and don't watch the stream but hope I'm doing well? Okay.
Netis says content creators like Avenger One seem to have very strong insights into PvP interactions. To what extent does the community assist in the balancing? Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump on this one here and say that we have a entire team dedicated to but two really teams dedicated to processing and ingesting this feedback. We have the player experience team and of course our community team, and a big chunk of what they do is to collate that kind of data and to process it and to verify.
Do you know what sucks? Do you know what sucks about that? And I think that this is like one of the biggest problems is the team that gets blamed for the lack of movement on feedback is the community team. And I have a lot of issues with the community team. They take the feedback, and as far as I'm aware, it ends up where it's supposed to end up. What gets done with that feedback is the fucking problem. So that's like the one thing. I think a lot of the community team does a lot of things that deserve a lot of feedback from us, and they give it. But it's clearly being passed on, and then nothing's being done with it. But let's see what Jared has to say.
Because it's not always super accurate. To verify its accuracy, and then to get that into the proper hands. People like Duncan, people like Sam, if it's Arena Commander related, PU designers and stuff like that, and then even squadron designers if it's something that might affect or benefit that. So to the amount, it's not like I can put a number or a percentage on it, but I can tell you there are literally two complete teams that both have worldwide presences dedicated to gathering and collecting and processing that information. So,
which are a complete waste of time and money.
Do a very good job of it too.
I think it feels like a complete waste of time and money if this is only from our perspective as the people playing the game and giving feedback. And I have an additional layer on top of this where I can go, like if it's a mission related thing, I act as who? I get to act as the gameplay experience team or whatever the fuck they're called. And I get to go straight to DJ or straight to Elliot or straight to some of these other devs just because of streaming or whatever. And they've popped in my channel or we've talked on Discord about something, right? So why... in a situation where I'm like, hey man, this is bugged. Do you want me to like send you a video on what happened or whatever, and then just shoot it over there? Like, for example, yesterday, there's no way that there isn't an issue council report out there about this specific thing. We did security post Korea. We went because Elliot was basically hinting to me that they had changed the price of Osoian hides, which they did, and we went to go do security post Korea, the only place you can get Osoian hides, and deliver them to try to sell them. There is a huge issue with the selling terminal, but there was no way that wasn't delivered in feedback throughout the entire PTU process. But it took doing it on stream, and it took doing it in that moment with the developer there to be able to, be like, oh, So it's like it's being passed on maybe, but it's also like there's too many steps in the fucking process.
I wasn't going to go that far. But.
Something isn't working is all I'm trying to say.
I can probably speak for everyone. Those teams are
you definitely
incredible.
Useful.
I'm in the vehicle balance sinks and the discussion.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that they're useful. I don't want to say that we're wasting money on them. It's such a weird thing. All I want to point out is from the player perspective, is it seems like the feedback is given and not much happens with it, especially around things like master modes up until this point, right? It was a lot of people like, hey, get it in our hands, get it in our hands. DJ gets it in our hands. And
all the considerations.
as far as I'm aware, there's been a lot of changes.
It's awesome to see.
And we have a number of internal resources. People that work here were very involved in this stuff, like Yogi Clad and SaltEMike. Folks who have worked here for years and been on the payroll.
You know what? I guess that fucking. I guess that says exactly what I just said. to some extent, I don't get paid, but I feel like I work here to some extent, because anytime that any developer that comes to this channel and asks me to look for a certain bug, I do stop everything I'm doing and I do that. So there is that. How is September going to Mike? Mike? Planning to gift? Don't gift until the end of the month. I get paid in exposure. True. On SCL every week I get my exposure. But no, anytime the devs ask me to look at something, I do stop what I'm doing and I do look at it. But that's yeah, it's just a weird one. I don't want to say that the system's broken, but from our perspective, it feels broken. And then every time the developers come on the shows and talk about it, they talk about how great our feedback is and how they do so much with it. But there's so many times where you're like, hey man, this is, this little bug where it's like clear that it's like just changing one number, or hey, there's a decimal point here that probably shouldn't be, like things like that never get fixed is kind of frustrating from the backer perspective, I would say. So it feels like the loop is broken, and it kind of sucks. Like, I think a good bit of feedback here, correct me if I'm wrong, but the amount of bullets on the Mantis has gone way up.
People that work here
For ballistics?
Were very involved in this stuff, like Yogi Clad and SaltEMike, folks who have worked here for years and been on the payroll.
Exactly, Liquid. Stuff like that. God damn it, Jared.
Determined to make...
this is why I'm not going to CitizenCon. They're going to stab me, dude.
Let's see on the new fancy scoreboard. 8 kills on top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
Tyler, Nebel, and Flame Z.
Come on, Nebel.
I've seen Flame Z a few times, so he's managed to get in with us a lot. Quick on the button.
Indeed.
Have you ever seen my CIG
I was
paycheck?
promised trolling and extreme sniping.
That's true.
Duncan,
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
They have been incredibly respectful. I expected to get rammed
keep
as
saying
soon as I
that.
spawned.
The only thing we had was that guy that was spinning.
I know this community can do worse. This is our last game. This is our last match here.
I've never
Well, admittedly, the guy that was
once
spinning made it
seen-
also
I've seen
easier to
money
kill
go
them.
to
So,
CIG. I've seen plenty
Can
of money
parties
going
get
to
into these
CIG.
matches together?
In fact, I've
They
seen way
absolutely
too
can.
much
Yep.
money going
Do
to
obviously.
CIG.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
So
I have not
alongside
seen
the front
any-
end,
I don't think
is a
you've
reworked
ever
lobby
seen
system
money go
which
to
lets you
CIG.
play with all your friends. Before we were
the
limited to what was it?
Yeah.
4?
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was
That's
4.
the only thing.
But now it's based on the game mode.
It's called the scam.
So basically, in any team mode, you can fill up
Scamscription.
an entire team with your
Scamscription.
squad in your lobby, essentially. And then for free for all, you can take up the entire space of the game. So if it's 16-player mode, you can pair up with 16 people, and it'll just shove you all into that one game.
Of course, Sam and Duncan don't know this yet. Figures might as well tell them now. We're doing a new feature on Arena Commander 3.21 for ISC here in a couple weeks, so we'll be talking to you next week about putting that together. And
Okay.
so yeah, so you don't.
Yeah, our momentum does not stop.
Yeah, we're always talking about stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Big 321 ISC for Arena Commander. What do we think it'll be? They got the stuff in. They got it working somewhat. Obviously, there's some issues still. I wonder what big things are coming.
questions in the chat.
You think Theaters of War?
RE the future and stuff like that. And I just want to say the reason we're not talking about the future is because we have a separate talk about the future coming up in just a couple of weeks.
We actually did a big plan today for like an entire year. So,
I know I've been waiting for you to have this meeting before I sprung it on you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Duncan told me you guys had the meeting today. I'm like, ha ha, you're mine.
It's
Yeah.
got to be
Yeah,
Theaters
check
of
that.
War.
A few
It's
people
got to
have
be.
messaged me since that meeting saying the same thing.
It's got to be, dude.
But yeah, we wanted to get ahead of the curve, know what's coming for Arena Commander. We had our entire free step or free
Copium
stage
Planet?
plan planned out, but
It's
the
gotta be
exact
Theaters of War.
details, deliverables, all that we talked about today and confirmed. We've been talking about it for a long time, but now they're confirmed.
321 ISC, Bob. We've done
Yeah.
3 or 4 320 ISCs.
There's nothing new for this one.
And then this is the second 320 SCL on the
Yeah,
So we've done 5 shows.
Yeah.
This is our 5th show on 320 AAC. This will be the last show we ever do on 320 AAC.
Yeah, which is just boring at this point.
I'm going to utilize a feature of master modes. I'm changing to nav mode, you can see it in the top left there, to unlock my speed and run away from the Vandal because I'm on my last life and I don't want to die. Nav mode, of course, lets you go a lot faster than SCM mode, which is standard control mode.
People in the chat are like, so that means no 4.0 or whatever, 4.0 next, whatever. Like I haven't been doing this for a decade. I'm not going to jump on that. All things, hold on, no, I'll do the camera. Hi, everybody. It's me again. Things will be when they'll be. We don't do when questions anymore. It's things will be when they're be when we think they're ready and when we think they're proper, and yeah. So
I get it. Like, we all have to understand that it must be annoying for everyone to be like, when are these things out? Coming from Jared, of all people, who have made multiple Road to the feature people are asking for, and have baited and have done these things that, you know, hey, internally, maybe they thought they were going to get to 4.0 faster, so he makes content for it. Like, the guy's getting mad for creating the problem in the first place. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny to think about, but you've done Road to 4.0, you've done the whatever to 4.0, the server meshing part 1, which is 4.0. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, the Road to Pyro, the Road to 4.0, all this fucking bullshit, and now you're mad that people are you know, bummed out that so that means no 4.0, it'll be ready when it's ready. You can't keep baiting something and then pull back and say, well, not ready. You know, it's the part of the reason why, like, the roadmap has changed. It's very, 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 very frustrating to be a backer sometimes. And this moment right here is why it's so frustrating. Is you can go ahead and say, hey guys, we're always sharing this, this roadmap really far out, and things are always subject to change. It's like, just not working. It's driving people mad and it sucks. So we're going to dial it back and only show what's coming in the next patch. And I thought that that's worked out really well. All at the same time while Jared's putting out Road to 4.0 content, which completely undermines all of that work. And then we get mad when players are like, hey, you showed Pyro in 2019. Exactly. It's like, come on, dude.
thanks for watching.
You showed Pyro in 2019.
Yeah, so
12%.
as you can very clearly see on the screen, there's a lot of enemies.
Too many.
In this mode, essentially, every is it minute or 2 minutes?
Every minute.
Every minute we spawn some more enemies, some more Vandal for you to try and fight off, until eventually it's just too much. But you got to just try and get as far as you can.
So we are in OT, and this is Infinite Wave. We're not just going to let you play. So we'll give you a couple more minutes, and we got to wrap it up.
It is. Wait, you got another live?
If that last 10 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, you
if
did get
do
another
last till wave 25, you get a reward in the form of a Spectrum badge. So anyone that is skillful enough to make it 25
a
minutes
counterpoint,
into the
though,
game.
something like the Munching early prototype worked because they didn't try to make it look complete. Exactly. They didn't try to sell it to you as anything other than what it was. It was perfection. That was the best ISC I've seen all year, and it was the most, like, jank and simple thing. Like, hey, we want there to be a time limit. It was just so simple.
there's that for you to collect. I think my record is 18 minutes, so I'm still trying to get there.
Mine too.
Oh, I thought he was going to try and ram me.
Shield down. You're done.
At least
You just want Sadaball?
didn't
I
die
think
on
they
the
want to
first
do
few
that
minutes.
as well. I can only imagine they would want a 0G FPS
I actually
experience.
got a life back because I lasted long enough.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing in this mode.
I love the red shield effect.
Yeah.
You got a lot of contacts in your radar then.
We do, and I am very
Yeah, it
thankful
was a
that we are a
fantastic
4-player
ISC.
co-op experience right now. Because I've lost control of my engine.
Because the thing about the other ones, I'm trying to find
Because
my
it
mouse
splits
to
up the-
pause the video. The thing about the other modes, or I got experimental modes in my head. Thing about the other videos is like it's all this super far out discussion of what will be, but the discussion around vehicle munching was exactly this is where we are right now. We know we have a place we want to go, but we're just testing the performance of it. But we're also giving you an idea of where we're going. Like you're going to break it up into big pieces, and then you're going to break it up into smaller pieces, and then you're going to bring it in to your ship. And then it'll be processed. We don't know anything about how the processing will work. We don't know what it will process into. They gave it so they can prove it out on ISC throughout the next year or however long it's going to take, right? And we can see, I can almost guarantee that at either CitizenCon or a 321 ISC, we're going to see the next step in vehicle munching. And I want more of that, right? Yeah, it's like one of the first times they gave us a compass on the map and said, you are here. I agree with that, Nick, like wholeheartedly. Because a lot of the times it's very difficult to understand on ISC what they're actively working on and what they want to do. It's almost impossible sometimes. What is munching? So right now you hull scrape a ship and you just take the base level of it off. Munching is where you take a real like big chunks of a ship and break them down and break them up into usable material to the point where there would be no ship left. It's removing the entire asset altogether and turning it into a usable material.
The AI will try and kind of play. I don't want to say fair. They never play fair, but they will split their attention if there's multiple of you, obviously.
So reiterate again, what happens if you survive 25 minutes?
You will acquire a Spectrum badge. A pop-up will come up on your screen. I don't recall if it comes up as soon as you reach 25 minutes or you finish the game after reaching 25 minutes.
I am.
But that's
Bronzy.
that's our goal.
Badge of honor.
You're above average, you get some kind of reward, and that's us testing the ground with rewards in Arena Commander.
And if you survive a full hour, you get a 5-minute Zoom call with John Crew. The views and opinions of me do not represent those of Cloud Imperium Games. Robert Spick.
If you survive an hour, you know.
All right,
Yeah,
sure.
I mean,
All right, that's it. We're out of time. Gentlemen, you did it.
we did it.
Survived. Thank you so much for taking time out of the end of Friday to come on over to my desk. This is where I work. Folks who watch ISC might recognize a lot of interviews that go on right there.
Really?
Yeah. This is where I spend most of my time working. People think I spend all the time in the spaceship, but I try not to. I try to balance my life.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to exist there, but I can imagine it gets a bit boring after a while.
It doesn't get boring. It's
It
just
can get boring on a
I
spaceship.
guess you can't get bored.
just everybody I need to talk to.
You
is
can
here.
get bored on a spaceship if it was real, because you'd be just flying through space for like years.
It's
Depending
like
on where you
quantum
go.
travel.
What a thing to think about.
Yeah, well, space is scary.
Sure, there's movies on that. The boredom of time in space. Chris Pratt comes to mind. There's a movie. Chris Pratt, someone else.
Is there with Chris Pratt?
Yeah, Chris Pratt and the girl from the
He plays basketball.
Hunger Games.
Oh, I think I know the one.
So yeah, so
Just end the
that's
show,
been Star
Jared.
Citizen Live Game Dev Arena Commander 320. That's available. Everything you saw today, right now, is available right now up on the PTU, available to players. As for when it's coming out, be
Available to how many players?
sure you keep an eye on the robertspaceinitiatives.com website for details. That's where they track all that stuff and new features. There was recently a lot of new quality of life fixes and stuff being added into Alpha 320, not just for Arena Commander, but for the PU, including a long-awaited combat logging timer. You should have heard the cheers that happened in this building when somebody said when that hit the go on the go no go. Like it was. When I say that you guys have the same thoughts we do, I absolutely mean it. We were like they couldn't wait to run and tell everybody. So yeah, if you haven't checked out this week's show on ISC on racing and a bit of a look at the upcoming Fury LX that is arriving straight to flyable in the upcoming Alpha 320, and then
That's
next
when they sell
week,
it. Okay.
Next
What's
week
next
is
week?
a special. It's an ISC unlike any ISC you've seen before.
God damn
we are
it.
going to
Anytime
attempt
they say that.
something with almost no visuals. We're going to tell another story at the earliest stages of development
Okay.
about something. I don't want to spoil it. You'll probably find out on the This Week in Star Citizen on Monday because they just can't help themselves. So check that out. For me, I'm Jared. On behalf.
Listen. I'm going to stay calm with this because we just talked about how the last time that he said that, I thought it was the best ISC they've ever done. Hopefully it's good.
Half of me, I'm Jared, and it's the end of the week. Can't you tell? That's Duncan. That's take it easy, everybody. Can't be worse than Elliot's SC. Oh man.
I thought it was quite good.
No, he did great. I can't even joke.
I
about it. He
learned
did
quite
great.
a lot.
All right, that's it. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye.
They would have kept going. They would have kept going for sure. Listen, that wasn't the best start, but that ended up being, I think, a good discussion topic. SCL for us here. I had a lot to say. I'm sure many of you will hate what I had to say, though. So it is what it is. ISC, the last one was all about selling the ship. You can't prove me otherwise. And it is very frustrating that it took Arena Commander to fix a lot of the issues in the PU that have been around forever. But I'm certainly happy it's here. So there you go.